What's up guys, and today I'll be doing an operator analysis on Buck. To start off, Buck has the option between two weapons, which is C8 and the C8 MRS. And in my opinion, I think both weapons are amazing. The C8 MRS is just as good as the C8. I like choosing the C8 MRS mainly because I like picking weapons that are single shot and high damage. But it doesn't matter what weapon you pick because both weapons are amazing. It just depends on your playstyle. For Buck C8, I usually run a ACOG scope with an extended barrel with no laser sight. As for Buck C8 MRS, I usually pick ACOG scope with muzzle brake mainly because it's a single fired weapon, so it helps you with the recoil. And for his underbarrel, I usually leave it alone mainly because I don't like laser sights and I feel like they give out your position. Now moving on to Buck's secondary weapon, which is basically the MK1 9mm. As for all my pistols, I usually run a suppressor mainly to take out cameras without being noticed by the enemy, and I usually don't put on a laser sight mainly because I do feel it gives out your position again. For Buck's gadget, you have the choice between a stun grenade or frag grenade. I always choose frags mainly because I feel frags have a lot more potential during gameplay than stun grenades do, and also a frag grenade could kill somebody, a stun grenade can't, and Buck's one of the few operators that could actually carry a frag grenade, so I suggest always picking frags over stuns. So Buck's special ability is his skeleton key, which is basically an underbarreled shotgun. It has a 5-round clip, and at first glance I thought the ability itself wasn't that great, but the more I played with Buck, the more I started to notice that his underbarrel shotgun is more than just a weapon when it comes to gameplay. Buck's ability gives you the option to make kill holes at a super fast rate, and he also has the ability to make entryways for your team. So if your team does not have sledge or breaching charges, he's a great option when it comes to making entryways towards a room. The transition between your primary weapon and your underbuild is super fast, so unlike Sledge's ability, Buck's able to use his murder holes as soon as he creates it. One thing that Buck can do to help out his team is create holes all around the objective to help out his teammates. This also includes the ceiling, and what this does is basically just makes the enemy really paranoid, so your team will have an easier time pushing a room. And unlike Thatcher and Thermite, Buck doesn't really have an important role in the team, so Buck should always be in the front lines. Also, Buck has one of the best loadouts in the game, so Buck can handle any defender coming at him. Usually when I play Buck, I like to be really aggressive with him, and when I say I play aggressive with Buck, I try to push the objectives as fast as I can. One thing that I have noticed while playing Buck is never having an issue with reloading during a gunfight. Since Buck does have that underbarreled shotgun, instead of switching to your secondary weapon, you could push the enemy with your underbarrel. I've also had situations where an enemy needed to run away to reload, so using an underbarreled shotgun, I would just create a hole and then use it to kill them. One major thing that you could do for your teammate while playing Buck is to create holes for them to shoot at, so you can create crossfire very easily. Buck also has the ability to help out Thermite if you guys are not running a Thatcher or a Twitch. He can throw his frag grenades under the drone holes to take out Mute's jammers or Bandit's batteries. One thing to keep in mind though when using your frags to destroy Bandit traps or Mute jammers, if the enemy team is smart and they have a Jaeger, they'll place an ADS device right next to the hole, that way you can't throw a grenade in there. Now I'm going to be moving on to mistakes people make when playing Buck. So one big mistake I see people make when playing Buck is using his underbarreled shotgun as a weapon when they don't need to. I often make this mistake sometimes when playing Buck, and don't get me wrong, Buck's gun is amazing when you're in CQB situations, but if you're in a mid-range gunfight and you want to push your enemies, you don't need to switch to your underbarreled shotgun. I feel that Buck's guns will do a lot more damage at that situation and that range, a lot more than his underbarreled shotgun could do. I've been in many situations where I tried pushing with the underbarrel shotgun, but I ended up dying mainly because my underbarrel shotgun doesn't have much range to it, so I should have been using my machine gun instead. This leads me to another mistake people make when playing Buck, and is not utilizing his kill holes. I've seen Buck players create holes and not utilize them because they're afraid that the enemy might start shooting at the hole as soon as you create it, but this isn't the case. Since Buck could create a kill hole in less than a second, he can easily get the drop on the enemy. Make sure to strafe back and forth or get out of the area once you've been there for a while, because once you're there for a while, all the enemy teams will start focusing their fire on that hole, and you'll eventually get killed. And finally, the last mistake I notice people make when playing Buck is not using his underbarreled shotgun when the enemy is pushing them. If you're noticing that the enemy that you are currently fighting is trying to push you, you should start preparing to use that underbarrel, because once they are that close to you, 1 or 2 shots from your underbarreled shotgun will instantly kill any enemy. Also, I use the shotgun if I'm checking hard corners. I do this to avoid hip firing from my regular weapons, as Buck's underbarreled shotgun is a lot more effective at those ranges. So now I'm going to be rating Buck on 3 categories, which is loadout, gadget, and team efficiency. For Buck's loadout, I'm easily going to give him a 10 out of 10. He has one of the best loadouts in the game, hands down. Both of his primaries are super hard hitting weapons, and his handgun has a perfect balance between capacity and power. In addition to this, Buck could also carry frag grenades, which I feel has so much potential during gameplay. So this is why Buck gets an easy 10 out of 10 for his loadout score. For Buck's gadget, I'm going to have to give him an 8 out of 10. Buck's gadget is so versatile. It could create easy kill holes, it could be used to create entries for your team, make it easier for you to push an enemy, and it could help you out with so many situations during a match. The only reason it's not getting a perfect 10 out of 10 for gadgets is because Siege is a team-based game, and Buck's gadget isn't really a team-based gadget. So that's why I give Buck a 8 out of 10 for his gadget. For Buck's team efficiency, I'm going to have to give him a 6 out of 10. Even though his gadget isn't really a team-based gadget, Buck provides the team with a super efficient front-line operator. Buck can easily escort Thermite or Thatcher to an area that they need to get to. On top of this, Buck can also create holes around the objective and above it, giving your team a better chance of pushing the objective. Also, if your team is pushing one side, and they need somebody pushing the opposite side, Buck could easily be your go-to guy for that, as his loadout gives him the ability to do so. This makes Buck's overall score 8 out of 10, and he would have been a higher score given that his role was more team-based. But overall, I do think he's one of the best operators in the game. I love using him, so Buck is always my go-to when I'm choosing attacking. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button. I will be posting more operator videos like this, so you guys enjoyed watching. Hit that subscribe button for more. Also, I like getting feedback on my videos, so tell me what you guys actually enjoyed watching and what I can improve on. And thank you guys for watching my video.